course, too, by the way. I'm just available for just all type of help, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Random number between 1 and 8. 7. $20.15. No AIDS. Oh no, this one allows AIDS. Well, it does, doesn't it? Nothing prohibiting AIDS. But you can't bring your MP3 players, guys, or your VHSs. They allowed it when I was in high school. They allowed you to have like a Walkman or a CD player to like listen to while you wrote your exams. Then we're like, they don't know what CD burners are. Right. Old. Yeah, that's the idea. We recorded all the answers on. Like they didn't know what a CD burner was. It's like this just came around right at the same time that like CD burners became available. Because they started realizing that people could record the answers on cassette tapes. So they're like, no more cassette tapes, only CDs. And we're like, okay. Oh no, right? That's a good workaround. It's really hard to cheat. Like, try cheating on an exam. Like, well, maybe it's easy to cheat in courses where, like, they're just testing you in your capacity to remember stuff. But,
I hear it takes more time to prepare cheating material than to actually study.
Yeah, we usually allow students to write crib sheets, if only because it forces them to actually study. Because you have to figure out, like, what to write onto the test sheet, right? Well, what would you write on a cheat sheet if we let you bring one into like this exam, for example? Like inspirational quotes, like you can do it, right? Like instructions for writing algorithms to any problem. Like it just doesn't work that way. Like I've let people cheat in exams. Like I'll look at their cheat sheet, I'll hand it back to them. Like, okay, here you go. Like, go crazy. Okay, let's try one of these tests. Am I recording? I can never tell. Derivatives. Not in my house. At least not in my house here. My other house we can do derivatives because I teach the calculus course. Do you have a derivative question?
Not really.
No, okay. Well, it sounded like it. Let's do some computer science, though, if you don't mind. I'm smiling. I'm not actually angry. I'm actually furious on the inside, but how dare these students disrespect me. Variable slices refer to a number of... Oh, God, why would they do this? Variable slices refer to a number of pizza slices. Each pizza has 10 slices. We would like to purchase a number of pizzas whose total slices is closest to but does not exceed... Oh, Why would you first introduce something as a variable name, which is also the name of a technique that we have in Python? Right? I don't like this question. You should have seen me in the other class. We had to like read through a novel, like just to find what the hell they're asking. Okay, so we have a variable slices. Each pizza has 10 slices. Okay, so this should tell us the number of pizzas we need. Oh, Jesus. Okay, A. We're done, right? Oh, no. It's not that. Okay, so how many pizzas do we need then? Are we going to be off by 1? Okay, so let's try this. 23 divided by integer divided by 10 gives you what? 2. So that's not enough. So you need one additional one, right? Okay, let's go into the console. What? So if I need 33 slices of pizza, you're telling me I need to... That's not enough pizzas. Whose total slices is closest to it is not... We would like to purchase a number of pizzas whose total slices is closest to but does not... What a stupid question. Right? Like, why not just ask the question in the obvious way, right? I need this many slices of pizza. There are 10 slices per pizza. How many pizzas do I need? Slices divided by number of pizzas plus 1, right? That would have been a sensible question. But, okay, so... Okay, it's E. No, wait, it's C. because this is a stupid question, right? I'm comfortable putting that on record, right? So please read questions carefully, right? Because I would have got this one wrong, because I would have circled E. What is the value of total after this code runs? Let me just bump this for you. Because the library takes the PDF files that we send them, then they print them, then they scan them. I don't know. Don't ask me, because like that's their, I don't know. That's their policy. Well, why do you think this has been scanned in, right? Yeah. What's the value of total after this code runs? Okay, so total starts at 0, first starts at 4, second starts at 0. If first is greater than 5, which it's not, so skip to the else. If first is greater than 5, which it's not, skip. What are they asking for? What's the value of total? 0. Okay, are we comfortable with this, or should I type it into the console? Well, we are throwing you some slow balls at the beginning of the test. We're trying to bolster your confidence a bit, right, going forward. You don't think we take into account like student psychology when writing? Go home and try to design an exam. Do you know it's writing, like designing an exam is harder than writing one. I can tell you that now as a teacher, right? So it's difficult, right? So we get really angry when people are like, "Can I write a deferred exam?" Oh yeah, no problem. We can just go and design another exam, no problem. Internal screaming, right? We would like a function that carries out the following algorithm on a list. Find the leftmost pair of consecutive values that are equal. A consecutive pair? Okay. Okay, given a list, we have to find a pair that are consecutive, although they're not telling us if 4 and 5 are consecutive and 5 and... Is 4... Okay, so I'm sure 4 and 5 are considered consecutive, but are 5 and 4 considered consecutive? Who wrote this test? I looked over your exam very carefully, and I did find a few mistakes that we got out, which would have been a disaster had they been left in. We didn't. Yeah. Me and the rest of the instructors. All right. So we did it in such a way that it's going to be impossible not to write the code that we want. Like at this time, we gave you a lot less freedom to write code. It's not like write this code, big blank page. It's like fill in the. So like we gave you like most of the code, and we're asking you to fill in parts of it. It's like what should go here in order for like to make this code work, just to make it easier on the graders. Yeah.
Are they backed by the same people that graded the
Yeah, but I'm going to watch them a lot more carefully this time. Yeah. I'm going to stand around there with a big stick, right? Marking wrong, that's a paddling. All right. Okay, step 1, find the leftmost pair of consecutive values that are equal. If no such pair exists, we're done. Step 2, remove one of those two equal values. Okay, so consecutive refers to placement in the list. Okay, so we're trying to find consecutive equal numbers in a list. Then we remove one of them. It doesn't matter because they're equal. Then go back to step 1. Okay, so below are 4 attempts at solving this problem. Which one of the 4 attempts is correct? Okay, I actually like these types of questions. I know it was poorly stated, but I like asking questions backwards, right? Like I feel bad. Like we didn't teach you anything about debugging, right? So I wanted to give you a piece of code that was like, find the errors in this piece of code. Because if any of you guys ever become like actual programmers out in the wild, like 90% of your job is debugging, right? That's basically your job as a programming plumber, is debugging other people's code. Which is why you're going to develop very strong opinions about comments, right? When you start having to code other people's debug up.
Only 10% is actual code writing.
I think in a given day, the average programmer writes about 10 lines of code. Right? And in Google, my friends at Google report back to me that the average attrition rate is 5 years. Like you can usually only last about 5 years before they squeeze all of the work out of you. They're high-paying jobs, but they're really, really difficult. You shouldn't like plan on like working at Google for like 20 years. I don't think humans can do that. You'll burn out. But anyways, let's learn how to computer program before imagining what our careers at Google are going to be like. I hope some of you guys make your own companies. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so which one of these attempts does it right? Okay, so first let's figure out what the function is going to look like after it completes. So this should basically remove all Okay, so it should return a list so that no consecutive terms are equal. All right. So which one of that does it? So remove duplicates. So they give a list while okay, so they have a counting variable. So if the list at I is equal to the list at I plus 1, then I want to pop I. That doesn't even, what is it? It doesn't even do anything. Is that an error? Yeah, I don't think like putting anything in here does anything. Oh no, it is doing something. I didn't even know that it did that. Okay, so I can pop the position at 2? So this will pop out 2? I did not know that. Guys, I program in like at least a dozen different... Oh, wait, you're not saying what that I didn't know that. Are you also impressed by this? I was getting really defensive. It's like I program in like 15 different languages. Do you know how hard it is to remember the syntax for all of them? Right. So I can pop 3 and I get C back? Sorry, D? Boy, all right. Jeez. Okay, good thing we discovered that because I didn't teach you that. Okay, so this is going to pop. Okay, so this is like saying remove. Okay, so we all learned something. We can pop an individual element from a list, which like just outright removes it from the list and handles like the shrinking. That's useful. Jeez. Okay, so next year I guess I'll have that. So what is it doing? It's comparing individual elements, and if they're equal, it's removing one. Is it supposed to return anything? No. So this seems like it works, but we probably should check the rest of them just to see that they won't. Okay, so we have another counting variable here. Now what the hell is this trying to do? While I is less than the length of the list. Okay, that's irrelevant because that will all. Okay, so this is I can't underline, but this is redundant because this has to be the case. So they're saying while the list is equal to i's, this is the same piece of code.
No, it'll just continue popping because it doesn't try.
Yeah, exactly. I get set, and then it's saying while this is true. There's one condition. You can always replace an if statement with a while. Oh no, because yeah, you're right. This will loop infinitely. No, it won't. No, it won't, because the list it popped out I. But then if the next thing is equal, then it will continue. But is that what it's supposed to do? Well, it seems, from first blush, it looks like attempt. No, because the index positions will be wrong. Right, but it's not the case that this is going to loop for forever. Right? Because it is testing that condition. And we'll exit. Okay, so 2 is wrong. All right. Remove duplicates. Okay, so we have a counter again. If they're equal, then pop I is 0. Why would we want to do that? So it goes back to the beginning of the list? Sure, that shouldn't affect anything. Nope, but then we're going to walk off the end of the list. Oh, no, because the list is measured here. This also seems okay to me. Why is it wrong?
Doesn't the question say that once you're done popping something, you start at the left again? Find the left moves.
Oh. This is also a stupid question. Okay, so multiple algorithms here can work, but only one of them has implemented like what they have done here. I don't like this question either. Okay, so should the answer be 3 then? Okay, well, let's check 4. 4 is wrong. Yeah. You have to restart. Because like your whole list is shrinking. So like all the indexes change at every iteration. So you really have to look at your list, remove something, shrink it, and then start all over again. Right? You can't just keep moving through the list because the thing shrunk, so you would have to also modify all of your indexes backwards. Like, so that's why they want you to like scan right, go back, scan right, go back, and then if you make it to the end, then you're done. So I guess the answer is 3 because of the manner that they asked the question. And this is why I'm begging you guys to please read the questions carefully, especially more carefully than I've been doing. Well, I don't know the answer to the question then, right? Because we determined that what 1 and 3 are correct. Okay, good. So I guess D. Because like correct means something different than like what they're asking, right? 2 of them are correct. 1 of them is correct in the manner that they. God damn it, right? You know what I mean, though? Like 2 of the algorithms are correct. 1 of the algorithms is correct, and in addition to being implemented in the way that you wanted it to be implemented, but you shouldn't have used the word correct, right? Maybe correct as described, right? Correct as. What is printed by the following code fragment? Is there a hidden agenda here? No. Okay. Result is empty. List is 10, 20, 30, 40. Index and range 0 to 4 by 2. List index gets index. What is printed by the following code fragment? Okay. I may have to write on the board. Okay, let's first figure out what this range is going to be. Like as a list. Okay, so we're going to count from 0 to the length of the list, which is 4 by 2. So that should be 0 and 2 only, because 4 is on the edge and it's exclusive. Okay, so let me write that on the board. We have range, in this case, is equal to 0 and 2. Okay, so for index equal to 0 and 2, we have list of 0 is 0. Okay. So here's our list. How big was it originally? 4 elements. Okay, so we have list at 0 is 0. Then index gets set to 2. List index of 2 gets set to 2. For index and range length of the list, so this range now gets what? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Result, append, list of index. Okay, so what does the index get? So we first append 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. Okay. So I have to get 4 more out here. Oh. This will error then, won't it? You can't append to an integer. Okay, sorry, yeah. Sorry, yeah. What was I? So what is this? This is L list. And we also have an answer, or result. Result. Okay, so let's try again. So result starts at empty. And then for index and range, so index is 0. Result gets appended list at 0. So list at 0 is 0. Okay. So index now gets set to 1. Result append list at 1. Okay, so I'll put back in the values 20 and 40. So we have 20 here, and then 2, and then 40, right? So it should print this. Is that one of the answers? B. Okay. That one wasn't, that was okay. Didn't feel like flipping the podium. I think it's bolted to the ground. We'll see about that. What is the value of x printed by this program? Okay, x is 0, outer is 0, inner is 0. Maybe I should wipe the board again. You guys read it over while I prep the board. But yeah, this is sort of what you should be doing on your test, right? like keeping track of what the variables are in a table. So you guys should practice like how exactly you're going to trace code. Right? Because
Page for rough work?
Hmm?
Is there like a page for rough work or?
was the last test we gave you double-sided?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait. They'll like they say like right mark anything that you do not want marked.
Yeah, so you can really write scrapwork anywhere as long as you like put a circle around it and like an X through it. You just have to make it really obvious what is your answer and what is your rough work, right? You can always ask for more paper from us too, I think. So people asked me for more paper last time and I gave it to them. So the problem is with giving you guys scrap paper is that people try to smuggle out the answer, the questions, right? Because as I said, it's hard to make an exam, right? So maybe we can only make a unique exam every 5 years, right? So if students manage to collect a database of exams going back like 5 years, they basically have all the questions, right? So people actually go into an exam, especially these undergrad ones where there's 1,000 of you, who aren't a student, and they'll ask for a piece of scrap paper, write down all the questions, and then like run. I'm serious, right? I'm serious that this kind of stuff happens, right? They'll try to smuggle the questions out. And I can't tackle you guys, right? Because then I can get in trouble. Okay, so what do we got here? Outer, inner, X, and we have to print X. So we have to monitor the values of 3 things. X, outer, and inner. All right. So let's have X, outer, inner. And let's start at iteration 0, right? Because we're in a while loop. And I'm just going to set all of these things to 0, 0, 0. While outer is less than 3. So we go in. Outer is outer plus 1. While inner is less than 2, it is. Inner gets inner plus 1. And then X gets X plus 1. And then it runs the inner loop again. Okay, so inner now gets set to 2. Which means X gets set to 2. And then, like outer, nothing has happened, right? So then inner while loop escapes. X gets incremented. Is outer less than 3? Yes. Outer gets incremented. Then inner just, what's inner? Yep, we skip it, right? Because it never got reset. Okay, so then X gets bumped to 4. And outer is still less than 3. It gets 3. And then this gets 5. And then we escape. So I calculate 5. Did anyone type it? Can someone type it? There's 15 of you on a computer. Just take like a 10-second break from Facebook. I don't know what's cool with you guys. That Facebook's like the old people social. Instagram? I guess that's on your phone. Shut up, you're old, right?
I'm old. I feel.
You're an old spirit, I can tell. Right? Okay, okay, someone confirm this, and I'll go to the next one. So you see how I set this up? It's good to stay organized like this in these tables. So what do we got now? X, X, and S. All right, I'll do the same thing again. Okay. So again, we got an X, we got an S. So what do we start? Okay, so X is undefined, which may be relevant. Remember, if in case we ask for it. S starts empty. Okay. For X in range 5, so X gets set to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If not, X greater than 1 and X less than 3. That's always going to be true, isn't it? No. X can be... No, is there any X for which this won't trigger? Oh, and. So this will only run for values 1 and 2. Yeah? So that means... Okay. So that means we're going to run x from 1 to 5. Okay, so if x is 0, then the second thing runs, and we add an x. Okay? And then we add a... Okay, so then x gets 2. Which... Sorry, did I... Oh, right. Right, sorry, it's all wrong. All wrong. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so is that still right for 0? Okay, and then 1, we have to append an asterisk. And then 2, we do what? Another asterisk. And then 3, an x. And then 4, and also an x. Great symbols to choose. That's not going to confuse the TAs at all. Do we have it? First one, A. What is the output of the following code? All right. What are our variables? ST, right? S is A, B, C, D, E. And the other guy is D, E. S dot replace A with X. What will happen? All right, so remember, if you get confused, we can always go look at the API, okay? Or the documentation, right? Return a copy of S with all occurrences of the string old replaced with the string new. Okay, so does anyone remember what question we were on? Jesus, this is long. Oh my God. All right. Thank God I don't have to write this. Oh my God, really? Okay, so S dot replace A with X should... Wait, A's in quotes. Wait, okay, so that's fine. So this is going to replace... This will make S X, B, C, D, E. But can you replace two things with one thing? That's what they're asking here, right? This T is two characters. Okay, so we have to go back. Does it? Where are you? Replace list. String. Replace, where are you? Here. Return a copy of S with all occurrences of the string. Old, yeah, but characters are strings. Okay, I just want to check this. I believe you. Fair enough. Oh, it's returning a new string, right? I passed it. Oh, okay. So S now looks like X, B, C, D, E. And then we're going to replace D, E with Y. So we're going to get X, B, C, Y. That one.
But replace returns it doesn't change S.
Thank God I'm not writing this exam. Jeez. So it should be this one. No, okay, this. Good job, guys. I'm proud of you. Right? You finally surpassed me as a teacher. Yeah.
Okay, but one previous to this, what was the answer?
Didn't we agree that it was A?
Okay, I put it on the IDLE and I got D.
You got D.
But I'm not, maybe I didn't put it wrong. That's just like when I typed in the IDLE.
Idle.
Idle, whatever.
Wow, come on. We have to be leap. Does someone else type this into the thing? I hurt my finger the other day. I'm not joking, actually. It really hurts to type. So. Okay, fine. I'll type it. I will experience pain. Oh, God. Yeah, of course. Why didn't one of you stop me? There was a knot, so I screwed up. It should be like basically the reverse of what we concluded. Right, so which one did we conclude? A? Yeah, so it's D. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Right, that's why I wanted one of you to confirm it. So B, definitely read and do this test more carefully than your professor. All right. So that one was okay. So the answer to this one is D. No, but replace doesn't actually mutate the string. Right, look, that's what I discovered here. Right? Otherwise, I would agree with you. If I have x's is equal to hello, and I say x's dot replace h with h, right? It returns that, but x's hasn't been mutated. Because remember, strings aren't mutable, period, right? So, yeah, so I guess that will be a shortcut. If you just remember that strings are immutable, then you can like immediately answer questions like this. Because it doesn't matter that they're doing anything here. If they put s as this and then say print s, unless s has been redefined somewhere, you just go ahead, right? So finding these shortcuts are useful. Here is a function. Whoops. What is the overall purpose of this function? Okay, let's look at those later. Definition of do something takes two lists, and if the element, okay, so it runs through the elements of list 1 and the elements of list 2. So for every element of list 1, it checks, okay, if element 1 is, okay, so it checks that every element of list 1 is less than every element of list 2. Strictly less than the element of list 2. Yeah. Return true if and only if the length of list 2. No. Return true if each element in list 1 is less than the element at the same index. No. Return true if element in list 1 is, I think it's C. Yep, C. Okay, good. Unless I'm wrong. I think I have like a 50% success rate today on this test, so. Here's a possible implementation of get view board from assignment 2. We skip. Here's a function you wrote. Ugh. We would like to write the following function. Return a dictionary that maps mention. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, it's our friend Chirper. Well, they just didn't call it a chirp. They forewent the foregone. They didn't bullshit around with like what they're trying to do. Right? You know how many times I wrote the assignment like typing in tweet and then I had to like go back and change it to chirp? Well, I'm not going to do this because it's your homework. Oh, okay. No, your task is to put the lines in order. Oh. That's kind of mean. Right, so you have to sort of like figure out the correct order and indentation of this. Well, good thing there's only 10 factorial permutations, right? You could just try them all. There's actually less, right? Because not all of the... I don't want to do this one. My old friend, what is printed? That stuff we can do. So list of lists, right? Which means we all start to panic and sweat. I told my other class this. 2 things will for sure happen to you in your university career. You will write an exam where someone will cry so loud that it's distracting. And you'll write an exam where someone will vomit. Right? Those 2 things will happen to you at least once. Right? Someone will vomit. It'll smell like Red Bull. Bad. I actually had to ask to be. I had to be moved once during an exam. I had to ask to be moved because the person beside me was crying so loudly that I was like, "This person's crying is distracting. Can I please be moved?" Right? Or can she be moved? Also, if you really want to piss off your friends, like wear a bangly, like wear like a bracelet with like bells on it, and then erase a lot. I've had that too. We're like, "Are you kidding? Take off that bracelet." Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, wait, with the caveat that you may be the person crying or vomiting, right? So that also counts, right? If you cry or vomit. Okay, what is printed when the code is executed? Crying and vomiting? What is printed when this code is executed? So we have a list of lists. We have a sum for I in range of the length of the list. So we have a counting. Okay, the length of the list in this case is 2. So I is going to be, I have to write again. Yep, I know. I just want to store it on memory. Okay, I is 0 and 1. J is also 0 and 1. Sum is equal to the sum of list I plus j. Okay, so how many times are we? This isn't going to work, is it? No, it is going to work because we're. Okay, so I and j are both running to 2. So we look at the first list and we sum the first 2 elements. Then look at the second list and sum the first 2 elements. So it's 5, 7. I got 7. Yeah? Someone could be typing these things in. You checked. 7. Great. 7. Circle it. What is the dictionary printed by this code? Okay, D is a dictionary that keys 1 to 2. It sets a default for 1 to be 3, sets a default for 2 to be 3. It's trying to... Wait, can you say that? Oh, yeah. Okay, so D at 1, the thing keyed at 1 should be what we get when we ask for the key at 1. Nope. No, I give up. Someone tell me what this is doing. Well, I know set default says that if the key at 1 isn't defined, then just assume it's 3. But we've already put 1 into the dictionary. So the default shouldn't matter. And then it's trying to set D of 1 to what it gets when it tries to retrieve 1. But I don't know what that second number is for. What's the 4 mean? So we have to look at get, right? Get. Return DKFK and DLRS return none. It's get says it only takes one thing. That'd be nice, right? But like let's see. H is this. So what happens if I try to get 1? That should be 2. Okay, that's fine. What happens if I do this? But like what? Why? Why can I do this? Then what's the second argument for? Okay, hold on. Maybe if I ask for something that's not there, this is going to be the default value. All right. That's what it does. It's saying get the position at 1. If it's not there, then here's a default for it. So this is deliberately like...
Shouldn't that be explained in the docs?
Yeah, I would happen to agree with you. So I assume that this year that they heavily use the dictionary built-ins for their assignments, right? So remember that these are different students, different course, different professor. Where were we? Okay. Okay, so the key at 1 is 2. So this is going to try to set 1 to itself, basically. So this is just going to say D1 gets 2. It's this, E. Huh? Okay, so you're thinking that default values will get put in? Let's check. Okay, so we have H. So I'm going to set a default. Is it set default? Yeah, set default for 2 to 7. Now you're telling me that this should be in? I don't think it's going to be in. Jesus. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be in. Okay, so this should be this one? No, we have to investigate this more, because now I don't know what's... Okay, so if I have H, and now I try to set the default of 1, what's going to happen? Will it kick out the old value? No. Okay, so it seems to be the case if I have an empty dictionary and I try to set a default value for it, it's going to put it in the dictionary. Right. Okay, and will it always overwrite? No. Okay, so we have to be careful because the default value for 2 was set, right? Earlier, so it should be this one. Yeah. Okay, so remember those, I don't think this is on your exam, but remember those nuances anyways, right? That only the first default counts, and it actually, and it not only does it count, it puts that value into the dictionary, right? Which I wouldn't anticipate that it would have done. When you guys start programming better, there's something really useful called this. So useful. This is going to be like a magic piece of code. It's going to solve all your problems. I think it's collections. Nope, in Python. So you can have something called the default dictionary. And you just give it a, you can say, oh, look, if it's not there, just go to empty list. Right? So normally, I couldn't do something like this. Right? This should say, look, you have no keys, but it's going to return empty list for whatever I put in it. Right? This is useful. This means that you don't have to worry about like throwing index errors. Right? I love default dictionaries. Don't use them though until next term. What else do we got? You want to do one more or you want to go? Oh yeah, we have 2 more days of this. So why don't you guys go? We have plenty of time. You're tired. Do you any more tests today or what? Yeah, okay, go study.
I finished
An essay?
in 1 hour.
In 1 hour?
I'm still writing the computer.
Oh.